Hello Leo, so I'm doing your weekly reading for November the 27th to December the 4th. I'm going to take a look at what is going on in your situation. We'll find out why it's happening. We'll take a look at anything that's going on in your blind spots. We'll figure out what it is that's working for you, and of course how it is all likely going to be playing out as well. So you have got the wolf and the rose hip, and this one is guardianship. So with this one, obviously the wolves are incredibly protective over their pack or their clan, right? Your protective nature is really going to take the spotlight this week, Leo, and I don't know why, right? I don't normally get this with the wolf energy, but I do kind of feel that somebody is going to really piss you off this week, Leo, because I kind of feel that there's another person who's waging a war upon an individual that you love and care for very, very dearly, okay? And that's going to trigger this instinct within you to straight away, without even thinking about it, protect your person or your people, okay? Like I said, I don't normally get this kind of energy through with the wolf. I'm getting it for you guys super, super strong. Okay, so furthermore, the wolves, that's taking the leadership role, right? I want to say it's got an element of the Hierophant in traditional tarot in this card. Because it's teacher's energy, right? You taking certain people under your protection and showing them the way that things are done, right? Definitely taking that leadership role. It's also about loyalty and commitment. Your commitments. Certain questions might arise this week, Leo, about who and what you're committed to, who and what you're loyal and dedicated to, and should you still be committed and loyal to these people or to these things, right? Again, when you combine that message with the fact that someone's waging war on a person that you love very, very much, you're going to see the one who is waging the war as, I'm not going to swear, as trash, right? And if that's somebody that you used to associate yourself with or were loyal and dedicated to, then definitely, yeah, I can see those loyalties being called into question, like, immediately. So with the rose hips, that one is all about nourishment and affection, right? So the overall energy of this card is about familial love, dedication, and companionship, right? I do understand this message as you being called upon to be a mentor, which is why I said that it's quite, it does have elements of the Hierophant within this card. I do apologize, Leo. Sometimes, I don't know if you're not a regular here on my channel, then you won't know this. Sometimes my brain just blue screens from time to time. I'm dealing with a couple of health things, so you just have to kind of be patient with me so that I can get your messages out, okay? But yeah, I feel strongly that you're being called upon to be a mentor. And those that you would consider as being part of your pack, as it were, they might be looking for your counsel and for your guidance here, okay? Because I do get the strong impression that you are kind of put on a pedestal, but it's also for good reason, right? Obviously, I know we shouldn't be putting anyone on pedestals, but the way that message is intended is basically there are certain individuals, Leo, who really do look up to you as being the guide during times of trouble. Okay, so yeah, There is a leadership role here. It could also be within your own community. Okay, either way, it is asking for you to lead the pack or lead your pack like this wolf. Right, let's take a look at the bottom of the deck here for you guys. The chipmunk and the laurel. Interesting. So this one says success, and it indicates that you will overcome any and all of the issues that you come across this week. You will be victorious in your endeavors, whatever they might be. Now the chipmunk is obviously it's very high energy, right? It's constantly on the go, it's constantly on the move. And the laurel symbolizes a new venture that is pretty much guaranteed to lead towards your success. Okay. Also as well with the chipmunk, they say that they often take the road that is unknown, right? So doing things in a new way in order to find efficiency within something that you're already doing, right? It's quite an adventurous, high energy creature. So this one's asking for you to create your own unique path towards your desires, okay? It also serves as a reminder that the path towards success, it's never linear, right? So try not to feel disheartened when you feel that the growth is taking a bit of a dip, okay? Because that road towards success, it's never just a straight line, right? There's so many so many different angles to consider, so many different facets to consider. And things change up really, really quickly, which again, that's what the chipmunk energy is telling you, because it's high energy, it's constantly on the move, really, really hard for that energy to stay in one place. So this week is going to change up super quick, Leo. Be prepared to, I'd say, adapt on your plans ever so slightly. Okay, again, just because of the super fast changeable nature of that energy. Okay, right, can you tell us more about this leadership and the guardianship energy for Leo, please? Thank you. The Hangman and the Eight of Cups. Yeah, like literally, when I told you that somebody was going to really piss you off because they're waging war against a loved one, You've got that message repeating here, right? The Hangman, that's taking a pause, taking a breather, and then the Eight of Cups right next to it. You've been advised here, Leo, to cut your losses rather than completely losing your temper, okay? Demonstrating to your loved one who is coming under attack that the best thing that they can do is to walk with you, and you're going to lead the way. So you're encouraging your loved one to leave the situation, to leave the environment that is causing them a lot of upset and unrest. Okay, again, just as a side note, some of you guys could be encouraging a member of your family, a friend, or otherwise a loved one, to leave an abusive partner, and you're going to be helping them out with that, not just with the emotional side of it, but also with the practical side of it as well. So like legitimately helping someone pack their fucking bags so that they can get to a place of safety. Okay, again, be smart about it with these readings, because they are general reads, and obviously not every single Leo is experiencing the exact same thing as each other. Okay, so only some of these messages are going to be applicable, especially when it comes down to messages like what I've just given you. Okay, you know, it's quite a serious thing, right? Whatever way you try and cut it, though, you are guiding another person on how they can control and take charge of their emotions and of their emotional health, okay? So yeah, you're definitely being a very important mentor for a specific individual this week. Again, you can do role reversal, okay? If you feel that that resonates personally more for you, then it's saying, okay, well, Leo, you have an individual who loves you and who is wanting to protect you, and they are going to take you under their wing, as it were, okay? And they're the ones that are going to help you to get out of a dodgy, awful situation, okay? So your advice there would be to take the protection that is, and guidance that is being offered to you at this difficult time, okay? So again, discernment. Right, let's take a look at this success. Can you tell us more about this success for Leo, please? Interesting. I feel like, again, just with the way that that card handled there, I feel like somebody's going to be changing their mind, and it's possibly going to be you, Leo. I kind of feel that at the moment your decision making is a little bit back and forth. Whatever that's about, and it could be about like a college course or what job you're going to do, or literally anything. I'm just trying to use examples here. It's a very important decision for you, and you understand fully that you're the one that has to live with the consequences of that decision, come what may. I do see you coming to the right conclusion, though, and coming to the right decision. Because remember, we are clarifying this card of success, okay? There's just a little bit of back and forth in your head pertaining to this success. It almost feels as if you don't want to come across as being too keen, or you don't, do you know what I mean? It's like fear of scaring someone off in case you come across as being too keen. Again, that could be in your professional life or your romantic one. Just take it as it resonates. And I'm getting the message of, Leo, actually, the more eager you come across, the better your chances of success are going to be. You're not going to come across as being too keen, pushy, nor eager. You're just going to come across as being very excited. And here's the thing that they're saying as well. It's going to be a lot more authentic. Okay, and so whoever the other person is, they are going to see your excitedness and your authenticity really shining through, and they're going to be impressed by that. They're going to be impressed by you. They're going to be impressed by your intelligence and your creativity. Okay, so yeah, a lot of channeled message there for the chipmunk. Like I told you, Leo. Listen, I don't bullshit you. I don't bullshit the reads. Never have, never will. Right? The Two of Cups, to clarify everything that we just said for the chipmunk and the success card. You're really making an impression, a very positive, long-lasting impression. Again, either professionally or romantically. Okay, so please don't worry about coming across as being too keen or pushy, because that's not how you're coming across at all, right? Seems to be that you have found the exact right person either to work with, work for, or to be with romantically, okay, however this resonates. They are lucky to have found you, and vice versa. You're lucky to have found them, because it is a good match. Okay? So you don't have to worry about the possibility of pushing them away, because you're not going to be able to, okay? They're saying how much they love your enthusiasm. They're saying that it's a breath of fresh air, okay? Right, so why is this happening? The fox and the ivy, adaptability. Yeah, we've already mentioned the word adaptability. So the foxes, obviously, they are natural born survivors. They adapt to any situation. Cunning, sly, quick, but also very smart. And the major word that's coming through for you guys for this energy, underestimated. Okay? So, someone, again, feels like it's bounced back to the individual who's waging war against either you or your loved one or loved ones. They vastly underestimate your keen eye, your intelligence, your ability to survive, but also to thrive. Okay, because again, just think about the fox energy. The fox energy is also asking you, Leo, what is it that you're needing to cash away for a rainy day? Is it extra time? Are you needing to rearrange your schedule ever so slightly so that you can make more time for something else that is really important that's going to be coming up soon, right? Is this finances? Are you needing to cash away a little bit more finances for a rainy day, right? Foxes are opportunists as well. So that can indicate that there is an unlikely, unsuspecting opportunity that's coming your way, Leo, that you're going to be ecstatic about and you're going to jump at that opportunity, right? Because again, foxes, they never miss their chance, right? And in fact, some people who keep livestock or chickens and stuff, they'll say, yeah, if you give the fox a chance, like if you give them an inch, they will literally take the mile, like that they will take the pace. For you though, for your message, it's all about really making the most out of even what seems to be the smallest of opportunity. You can turn it into something really big and really make it work for you, right? And of course the ivy, as you all know, that's going to literally grow anywhere, right? It can put down roots anywhere. It can hardly tell the difference between nutrient-rich, perfect soil or a piece of concrete. It's going to grow just as well in either. Right? And it's strange because both the ivy and the fox, depending on who you speak to, some people say that both of these things are a fucking pest, right? Because they're so persistent. That's why. So your persistence is paying off, Leo. And I'm certain that we've had that message out for you quite recently. And I'm speaking within the past 2, maybe 3 weeks. The message about you being persistent, that came through heavy back then as well. So yeah, you're still not quitting, and nor should you, right? So yeah, a powerful message there about the importance of not being bullied, of not giving up, right? Can you tell us more about this adaptability for Leo, for why this is happening? Can you have another card to combine with this one? Thank you. Okay. Ooh, the Ace of Cups and the Six of Cups. Beautiful. Yeah. This one's unconditional love. It does have boundaries though, right? So you're not just going to accept any old bullshit off of certain people under the guise of unconditional love, right? it still has boundaries with it. Basically, you're not going to put up with shit off anybody, right? No matter who they are. Now, this combination, that can indicate a very, very strong soulmate connection, right? True love, total love. If you're not yet in a romantic relationship, then it's extremely likely that that's what you're calling in, okay? And you're calling that in right now. Okay, can we have another card for this Ace of Cups and the Six of Cups for Leo, please? For why this is happening. I feel like this is the right week to start a new love situation, or to bring more love into a pre-existing love situation. Okay, yeah, the King of Swords. Okay, I feel like you're being observed, Leo. And again, with this combination, if, again, not all Leos have had a bit of a low self-esteem lately, but if you are one of the Leos that have struggled with your self-esteem lately, then this is going to be a real huge boost to your confidence, okay? Because, like I say, you are making good impressions on a lot of people, apparently. Okay, so that King of Swords is being clarified with the Star, the Five of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. Heavy Aquarius energy here. You might have a soulmate that is an Aquarius, or they have that in their Venus placement, again with the presence of the Cups energy here. It feels to me as if you and this soulmate are both incredibly worried about each other. Okay, there's a lot of confusion about where this connection is going to go, if it's going to go at all, how is it going to grow. We've got healing and heading in the right direction with the Star. Right? You clearly are this person's wish fulfillment. So again, be careful with this message if you're already with someone, right? Because it tells me that, okay, then there's been problems within a long-term relationship here. And then they have realized how much you truly, truly do mean to them, right? If you're currently single, then you've got a soulmate who's watching you from a distance, I want to say. And they're worried about you, and they're worried about the connection, right? But there's also a message here about overcoming with this Five of Swords, right? So any troubles within a soulmate connection, looks like that's going to be resolved this week, whichever way you try and dice it, okay? Apparently that's why all this is happening. So a soul connection that you share with another individual has been the catalyst for the way that you now conduct yourself. In fact, there might well have been a connection here that made you so paranoid about how other people read you and receive you, and how other people make assumptions about you. Okay, it might have really, really upset you here, because at some point this person was not very polite to you. They weren't very kind to you. Okay, they probably said a few things here to you that were very, very painful, and made you paranoid then about how other people perceive you. Okay, so that's why you were being told up here, look, Leo, you're impressing a lot of people, and a lot of the right people. You do not have to tone anything fucking down, right? Not now, not ever. You do not have to tone yourself down. No matter what this person might have said to you in some kind of spite or jealousy here, right? Don't take that on board. Okay, you don't have to turn tone anything down at all. The coyote and I can't say that word, it's a type of flower, obviously. I think it's datura, and this one is deceit. If I have mispronounced that one, I can only apologize. Okay, I'm not familiar with that flower at all. This is in your blind spot. Deceit, right? Someone is being shady as fuck behind your back. Let's find out more about that. It could be that soulmate energy, which again is a bit of a misnomer anyway, because a true soulmate wouldn't, do you know what I mean? They wouldn't treat you like that. That could be more of a karmic situation. I mean, yeah, it's still a soulmate of types, but you know what I mean. What's this deceit that's going on behind Leo's back? Yeah, from an air sign. It's from an air sign. It would be that Aquarian energy. Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. The deceit is this individual told you that they've cut someone off, that they're no longer speaking to them, that they don't want anything to do with them, or that they have nothing to do with a third person. They're still contacting them. They're still speaking to them. They're still communicating with them. Yeah, the world. And when you find out about it, you're very likely going to be ending that particular situation, that particular relationship. Okay. There are multiple people involved with this, with the Two of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. I don't like that because it's very much back and forth, and it feels gossipy. Feels like typical he said, she said, and then nobody really knows what the actual truth is anymore, because there's so much that's gone back and forth, and then you've got the rumors to contend with as well, right? But here's the thing, Leo, this week, it's all going to come out in the open. And when it does, you're going to have a decision to make then. I'll tell you who that is. That's the one who's currently waging war. So they're still up to some nasty ass bullshit here behind your back. It's the one who's waging war that we saw right at the start. It's them. It's them. Guaranteed it's them. Right, the eel and the iris, safety, number 42, with what's working for you. Yeah. So the eel, escape artist. Man, I remember when I used to work in an aquarium and they had one of these deep sea eels. Obviously, it used to do what eels do best, and it kept jumping out of the tank because the poor sod, it should never have been in an aquarium anyway, right? But it used to always jump out of the tank. We walked in one morning and the bloody thing was on the floor. And this tank was huge. Like, this tank was probably bigger than, like, my bedroom, right? Which is just like a normal sized bedroom, and this tank was bigger than that, and it still jumped out of the tank, and it did that multiple times. It did survive. It just refused to stay in the tank, even though the tank was the thing that was keeping it alive, because obviously that's where the bloody water is. Didn't want to be in there at all. So, yeah, I think there's a bit of a message there for you somewhere. Anyway, message of this card. I don't know why that memory came up then. Slippery. I think that's the word I was looking for. Is that why they had me remember that story? Because it's slippery as an eel. So your ability to escape pretty much any situation, Leo, is one of your major skills and one of your strengths, okay? You do have this incredible ability, just like this eel, to escape harm, even if initially, even if initially it hurts you in the process. You pretty much know that you're going to get over the pain relatively quickly, but it's like your focus is going to be very much on, I need to get out of this situation and I need to get out of it now, okay? And the flower with the iris, that's a very hardy flower, right? And they symbolize power and victory. So together, like the eel and the iris, that can indicate safety in your own home, in your relationships and work, and the importance of that to you, right? And any time that any situation, either at home or work or within relationships, starts to feel a bit dodgy, then you're going to do everything within your power to get out of trouble, to get out of dodge, right? So this is saying that this is a really good time for you, Leo, to establish some healthy boundaries. And anyone who is not respectful of your boundaries, you are going to be dealing with them. And I feel you're going to be dealing with them quite quickly. It also says that if other people take offense at you having boundaries this week, then you're not going to be fretting over their reaction, but instead you're going to be standing firm in your own power, okay? So yeah, you're doing basically everything within your power to feel safe, or to make sure that your family feels safe, or your loved one. If you recall when I said that there's a loved one that's trying to get out of a worrisome situation, right? You're going to do everything in your power to make sure that they feel safe. Right, can you tell us more about safety for Leo, for what is working for them? I'm just going to ignore the cat. He's in a huff because the door's shut, and he's doing the typical cat thing. He just doesn't want the door to be shut. He doesn't want to come in here. He just doesn't want the door to be shut. Typical cat. So, the Six of Pentacles, yeah, equality, fairness, balance, give and take as well. You're acting in a way that is very honourable, right? Whether this is you getting out of dodge or you helping someone else get out of dodge, doesn't really make much of a difference. You're doing the right thing. You're acting with integrity and with honor. Okay. Right, how is this likely going to play out? The horse and the bluebell, modest fortitude. I like that one because, again, speaking of power, consider everything that the horse has done for humanity, right? As humans, we wouldn't have gotten as far as what we have with our own progress if it weren't for the help of the horse, right? Back in the day, the horses were used for literally everything, mostly to do a lot of the heavy lifting, right? So I feel with this one that this is a powerful message about how somebody is really needing you, right? You're obliging without any kind of expectations of a reward or anything like that. It's like you're not doing it for the kudos, okay? You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. So this energy is saying for you, Leo, that the bluebell is the one that symbolizes the modesty, and the horse symbolizes pride and power, right? So it's that healthy blend of I know my worth and I know my value. I know a lot of people use the word pride like it's a dirty word. It's not a dirty word at all, right? You have to have pride in yourself, you know, right? Because if you didn't have pride in yourself, then you'd never stand up for yourself, and anybody and everybody could just treat you in any old way. Do you know what I mean? There needs to be a healthy balance with everything. So this is you being reminded of your worth and your value. And I feel like you helping out this individual to get away from an unhealthy situation is highlighting areas within your own life where you have been, up until now, putting up with certain disrespect of a certain people. And it's highlighted, like their story, their experience, and you helping them out with that has highlighted within you the importance of not allowing people to treat you like that. It's also reminding you of how quickly shit can get out of hand if and when you let it, right? So yeah, you're really reinforcing your own power here and your own boundaries, and I love this for you. Because most people don't actually realize that Leos, underneath that tough exterior, you actually are incredibly deep feeling, okay, very, very compassionate. My youngest is a Leo, and I honestly, I have never met anyone who is so well-natured in my life, but see in front of other people, he puts on this hardened show, right? He makes it obvious, don't fuck with me. But then the ones that are the closest to him, like, there's nothing that he wouldn't do for his loved ones. And that's where you're being told, Leo, that, yeah, even that needs to have boundaries, okay? Strong ones. So, yeah, very, 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 very deep feeling individuals. So, Leo, this one's saying that you're going to be working quietly and consistently, okay? It's saying that your time to shine is going to be presenting itself to you this week, and that you're needing to step up, okay? No more playing it small, no more being coy or nervous, right, or anything like that. It's time for you to genuinely be confident in yourself, in your boundaries, and in your own abilities, okay? This one's also asking for you, Leo, to focus on the process that you're going through rather than its end result, okay? So, let's see if we can clarify that one for you. Modest fortitude. Can you tell us more about how this is likely going to play out for Leo, please? That one's squiffy. The world. Interesting. Because it's come out off center. Okay. Something's being left open-ended here, Leo. It's almost like you're not ready to completely close something out here. Oh. Yeah, the Five of Cups. Okay. That's why. Because it's going to be painful. I did say, didn't I, that Leo's very, very deeply compassionate and deeply feeling. It's kind of like you're avoiding the hurt. Okay. Okay. It's like you don't want to be putting yourself in a situation that's going to cause you further pain or further anguish here. That that's kind of why you're leaving a situation or a relationship open. Boundaries. Every day of the week, Leo. Boundaries, okay? Yeah, the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. The King of Pentacles energy belongs to everyone, okay? It's being that practical leader. You likely will be taking practical steps in order to deal with this painful situation. So you likely will be choosing the King of Pentacles energy over the Five of Cups, which is you standing up for yourself, being the practical leader, and you being focused on long term and the benefits of your actions this week and how that is going to benefit your future, your long-term future. Because you kind of know here that the situation can't really continue the way that it has been, because it's not doing you any good. Okay. Have a healing message for Leo, please. Healing message for Leo. Yeah, look, you've literally got the cat and independence coming out. It's time to strike out on your own and rise to the challenge. You're more powerful than you know, free, detached and uncommitted, with gateway to gifts. Keep doing what you're doing and your goodwill will come back to you tenfold. Generosity, windfall and trade-off. So yeah, you're that you're avoiding having to do some kind of painful trade-off here, but ultimately you do need to do it. Door to power, your courage to stand up for what you believe in will bring great blessings to your life. Ruling power, respect and wealth. Yeah. So you're really stepping into your own power here, Leo. And it definitely feels to me like come the end of this week, you're definitely going to give a lot less of a fuck about what other people may or may not think of you. Because when all's said and done, you know who you are, you know your journey, right? So you're not going to be persuaded to believe in anyone's bullshit negativity about you. Okay, focus your mindset on what you can control instead of what you can't. The world is your oyster. Elevate your thought patterns so that you can attract abundance to your life. You are what you believe. So remember the power of the mind. Okay, what is it that you're manifesting? With the power of your own thoughts. And don't allow negative emotions to fester. If you're feeling frustrated, angry or hurt, for example, just acknowledge that. Instead of fighting your feelings, go with them and work with them. Then the true healing can really begin. Yeah, it's nailed it. I literally don't have to elaborate further on that card because it speaks so beautifully for itself. Never, never, never ignore your feelings. Obviously, you don't take action on your feelings. Just don't ignore them. You've got to honor your feelings, okay? Toxic people love to stir shit up and create a cesspool of shit, but no matter what they say about you, and no matter how they try and take you down, always know that you're the shit. And shitty people will never admit that they're wrong, and they'll always proclaim that they're right. Be a better person and stay humble. Stay humble when you're wrong, and quiet when you're right. Yeah, so it's just stay humble. Okay, but yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that that reading has been helpful. For personal readings with me, my website's phoenixkeiatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.